So I know this is kind of weird, but there's this game that unexpectedly turned into a series of streams on my stream, and it was kind of thrown in on the back end of another stream. So I've had to do a little bit of editing for this video. That way I can properly introduce the the game. It's called the Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. Um, and yeah, so we'll cut to that. Enjoy.
The floor. Alright, so this game seems kind of creepy. I have no idea what to expect from this, honestly. So this is gonna be a interesting journey for all of us here. Hopefully, anyway, right? Or it could just be a complete bust. Who knows? Although, you know, it's got good reviews and they are coming out with, I guess, like not a sequel, but I guess they're coming out with another game like this that with a different character or something. I don't know. I didn't do a whole lot of reading into it. Like I said, I know absolutely nothing about this game. I just gave them my money and never played it. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what we get out of it. Let me get my piece of gum going here. I will give you guys cutscene subtitles. And let's get it rolling. Okay. Sir Boof. Or, you know, we'll just go Beef. Choose your name carefully. Other characters will address you exactly like this. Why did it, you know, what? What's up with the emphasis on carefully? Okay, game mode. Chapter restarts. You'll be able to rewind to the beginning of any chapter you have completed and continue from that point. Yeah, we'll enable that because I have no idea what I'm doing. Consequences. You'll see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. This is the recommended game mode, as you'll be able to direct the character's fate in the way you want. You can change this setting at any time in the menu. That's a tough pickle. Because I kind of want to actually know what would happen if I just decided what I would normally decide instead of weighing my decision-making process off of knowing the exact consequence. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that would be ideal, but would it necessarily make the experience authentic? Will not see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. Choose this option if you want to discover the results of your decision only after you have taken it. You can change the setting at any time in the menu. Okay, so we'll go with hidden since we can change it at any time, and we've got chapter restarts just in case. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one either, but let's get it started. That's kind of anxiety inducing, except that it shouldn't be because that's exactly what real life is like, right? I think the slightly creepy music doesn't help. Could be worse. Oh, it was waiting for me to click. I thought I was just gonna cycle through it. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm, where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you.
The story of my life remains written on these pages, but my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
What determines a man's destiny? That is the first question of this game. Okay, so this is going to be pretty deep, isn't it? Okay, so our options are the man himself. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. The world around him. Your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society in which you lived. A higher power. Your destiny was forged by a power greater than your own will. Where there is no destiny. Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It is not governed by any laws. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I personally, I don't even really know where I stand on this. But I mostly lean towards there is no destiny. That human life is an exercise in chance. Yeah, I don't feel like we're predetermined to necessarily be anything, because ultimately we can struggle and change anything that we're motivated enough to change. At the end of time, you stand tall and stare death in the face unflinching. There was no higher power guiding your life. It was just a wild jig, a chaotic tangle of innumerable human wills, actions, and accidents. The only thing that could ever turn this chaos into an orderly narrative is the eternal human drive for storytelling. Your life had no greater meaning. You were neither cursed by fate nor guided by providence, and this is what made you truly free. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Beef Brante will live once more. I like it. Childhood, 0 years old. can't make decisions as a baby. Or can I? Alright. Chapter 1. Childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? In chapters Childhood, Adolescence, and Youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. By the end of Prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Beef Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world around you for the first time. Yet it is also here that you sow the seeds of your future self. Okay, I think I already read that. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. The fencing lesson. Okay, so it gives you a heads up, kinda? You dare to study fencing, like your father, even though you have no right to it by birth. How dare I? Beyond. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth. Weird. An epiphany? You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world and the lots of its inhabitants. Nobleman's sacrament. You challenge the sacred order and attempt to seize a noble lot. Alright. Your personal qualities at this age, they determine which choices you make. My determination, I'm currently spineless and my perception is inattentive. 0. Why? Probably because I'm a baby. Just a big baby. What are all these? 0 years old, lowborn, occupation is growing up. That's a pretty tough job, man. After suffering a lesser death, one is reborn. One who dies a true death faces the judgment of the twin gods. Oh, so what is this like? Is this like your lives for the game? You get 3 lives? 4 lives? Okay, that's good. Good to know I don't mess up. Well, I mean, I probably will mess up really bad. Just get ready for that. It's gonna be interesting. Reputation of House Brante as tarnished honor. Moderate means of wealth, and the unity is peaceful. There is Stefan Brante. Robert Bronte's son from his first marriage and a noble by birth. And then we've got our family tree. Grandfather is Gregor Bronte. His son is Robert Bronte. There's no grandmother listed. His first wife died, I guess, Amelia Elborn, and his current wife is Lydia Bronte. I am of his second marriage. That's up the first. Get back to the chapters here. Oops. How do I do it? How do I get back to it? The year is 1118. Okay, back to scene. Alright. Your inner strength and number of lesser deaths that you have experienced, these qualities will stay with you for your entire life. Okay. Sections that open this chapter. Destiny screen, I already looked at all that. Let's begin the chapter. At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. Then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you were lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hand towards you. There are two of them. The ones who made you from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and emphatic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. So that must be the mother. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishments for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow, barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft open palm, a strong closed fist, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Reach out to the palm, grasp the first of the figures by the finger, reach out to the fist, place the tiny hand on the second figure's closed fist, smile at the shadow, smile at the figure standing behind them. So I'm thinking that the shadow is probably your older brother. I think I'll go with smile at the shadow. Your first smile appears on your face, awkward yet genuine. Your mother and father exchange looks and start talking. You know no words yet, so all you hear is a sequence of booming sounds. But the stranger behind them has no need for words. The stranger's look is all it takes for you to feel the will to live and act that now burns within you. The shadow brings a finger to its lips as if to say, there, baby, don't cry. This is our secret now. And then the shadow melts into the light? Never mind. There's actually something creepy going on. Okay. Gotta gain in willpower. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? Born in the year 1118. 1 year later. Hide and seek. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, little beef Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. There are two more children in the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you in the air. Oh look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge because you were born a commoner. Okay. So my brother is nobility, and I'm just a commoner. I guess probably has something to do with my mother. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby beef. Let's go play in the yard. It's really loud. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at it. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How's he gonna play? Then you hide them, and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason. And then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? Cry loudly, find your way home. Sit there and wait. I'm gonna find my way home. Even though I'm just a little baby. You get up on your feet, swaying a little bit. Carefully, you take a first step, then lose your balance and plop down on the ground again. But you are determined. You get up again and keep walking in the direction Gloria went. You walk out of the bushes and further toward the wall of the house. And then the most tender and gentle hands in the whole world embrace you and pick you up. Mother has found you. There you are. Oh, looks tired and stressed out all at the same time. You lean on Mother's chest and hold on to her with your arms. You want her to know that you came here all by yourself without any help. She pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan is staring at his feet, so I guess they got in trouble for leaving me out there. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. Alright, cool. We gained a determination stat. Still spineless though. To start, we're just a little 1-year-old baby. Alright, 2 years old now. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the great descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There's nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, the lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. Hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins come down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them. 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand. Guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born. The day when you pass on, know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze, and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Beef? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar anytime, from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too. So the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerge two figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder. The other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot, and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You'll feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? I'm gonna sing the last line wrong. Know your lot and know the prayer. The lots are lies told everywhere. You shout these words, but you have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing to you from top to bottom. Eesh. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You see disappointment in her eyes. So I guess that piano sound was the sound of making a bad decision. Beef, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it? Okay, so I've got +1 determination. You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. Year 1121, spring, the origin. You're starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. This is a title earned through great service. But your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner. But father says you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night. But the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. We'll have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, a boy or a girl. You will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find these stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. The lot of suffering. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. The scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother is training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Beef? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. And the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. What is this about? Oh, this would use my willpower, I guess? Continue to insist that you are not guilty and will not be punished, no matter what. You demand my mother explain why things are like this. Let's see what happens. You break out of Mother's arms and start screaming. You're innocent, you cry, and if he hits you, you'll hit him back. All fear and shame are gone. You stand up straight and stare defiantly into Mother's eyes. Her expression grows bitter. She catches you by the collar of your shirt and drags you down the stairs. I'm doing this for your own good. Do not defy me, Beef. You're born a commoner, my son. Power and will is not your lot. This is Stefan's lot. You'll become a noble soon. Life for you and me is humility and suffering. You have to accept it. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. You clench your teeth and hold back the tears. This is the only way you can prove that you are your brother's equal. It is the only way you can prove that one day you will have the right to rule and fight. So we gained a determination stat. Took a good old butt whooping, but ain't nothing new around these parts, right? Gloria's rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day, she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening lights of the pillar. And she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Beef, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says the twins are great. Says we should not fight our fate. Brothers love to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell him it's mine. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill. Sheets of paper covered in poetry. I think she just got busted. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run. But there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny. And I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble, but that is not our fate. And you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. So what? She's got a different dad, which I kind of already figured when I looked at the family tree. Disgraceful former father kept her in his house. She could have been born a noble. So what? Was that? Maybe she was born out of like wedlock or something? I don't know. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to this scene, unsure how to act. Okay, so if my perception was 2, I'd be able to offer to write poems with her. I could complain about my sister and gain a, oh wait, no, that would use determination, right? Or I can comfort my sister, and that would use my willpower, or I can just leave the room and not worry about anything as far as stats go. You know what? I think I'll comfort my sister. I'll use that willpower. Mother leaves the last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fire. Mother leaves the last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me? Really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. Eve, you're the best little brother in the world. The two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets. Always. Gloria is now grateful. And relations with Gloria improved by 1. She's sympathetic. She's the illegitimate daughter of your mother, Lydia. Yeah. Okay. Her position in the family is precarious. However, Brante has never acknowledged her as his own daughter. Sister is a dreamer. She often has her head in the clouds and can act recklessly at times. Okay. So yeah, she is a bastard of sorts. The two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets always. So I already read that, but I just heard it. Now I'm 4 years old, and time for points. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He is the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow at me like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave. Then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins. First to the elder on the right, and then the younger on the left. Stefan, You're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble, where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. This world sucks. This is depressing. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Stefan Brante -1. Unity -1. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also here, all excited. Promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no, the two of you will play together, and tease Stefan together, and help Mother together, and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but now everything is different. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out, she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting, but instead of gratitude, you get an ice cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Beef, you're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. So I can't hug her. She doesn't love me enough. I can snatch the baby from her, but that's probably going to use the rest of my willpower, and I'm afraid that I'm going to... I don't know. That's a tough one. Because I'm going to call for father. But then I feel like that's not going to work out fast enough. I'm gonna snatch the baby from her. I feel like I'm gonna regret not having that willpower though. You leap at your mother and demand she give you Nathan. She freezes when she hears these words. You snatch your little brother out of her arms. She chokes with rage and falls on the bed screaming. You run away to the playroom. Your baby brother is heavy in your arms. He sniffles. You sway him gently like Mother did and quietly sing him a lullaby about the twins. Nathan calms down. Soon he closes his eyes. You put the newborn on your bed and swear on your life that no one will ever hurt him. But when you're around. You hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. Father enters the playroom. He looks at you, then at Nathan, somewhat confused. You did something bigger than you today, son. It is a noble deed to protect your family, but you should have come to me. Please understand, this was my duty, not yours. You saved your baby brother from harm. Feel yourself ready to take the responsibility to protect others, then maybe you can walk the path of the noble when you're older. But for now, you should bring him back to your mother. Come with me. Picks Nathan up. Your brother is fast asleep, breathing quietly. The three of you return to Mother's bedroom. Father puts Nathan back in the crib. Mother is no longer screaming. She embraces you. Please forgive me. The twins know I was out of my mind. Please don't be angry with me. You hug Mother in response. Nathan Brante. +1 relationship. He is now sympathetic. Youngest child in the family and your only full sibling. But now I've got 0 willpower, so if anything happens to anybody else, I'm screwed. Your younger brother Nathan is born in the year 1122. I'm 4 years older than him. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He is finally back home after a long trip. Beef, today is your special day. The day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. Since you must remember this day, the present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I'm taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come with you too, but Father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. Yeah, scrub. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets. A pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anizot. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all over the city. Sounds mystical. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. There's a fancy dressed boy in your way. He is about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. Uh-oh. This is probably where I'm gonna wish I had some help. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! The tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. Then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? You press against Father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, Beef? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? See, I don't have the willpower to admit my guilt. Okay. I'm just gonna tell him the truth. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak too. You didn't want to shove the stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to these words, no matter how sad they may make him. They lead you to the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Enough. You got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to your senses back in your bed with servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. The morning after, you find a little box on your bed with the tin soldiers of the Holy Order inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. Wow, that sounds a lot like... Yeah, sounds right. Sounds about right. Paid dearly for your stubbornness. This is a consequence of your previous actions. Conditions met. Determination 4. So, father's sword. When father is not working long hours, you often see him spending long stretches of time in the backyard practicing his fencing. You are allowed to watch, but that is it. You are forbidden from touching the sword, let alone actually learning how to fight with it. It is a new day today, and father has been busy in his studies since early morning. Mother took Gloria and Nathan to the shops. Your studies are done for today. The house is empty. You spot father's sword hanging by the yard door. He must have left it there by accident after a training session. You deliberate at first, then grab the sword with resolve and run outside. I didn't even get to choose if I wanted to grab the stupid thing. At last you have a chance to see it up close. It is a small sword used for dueling, heavy and devoid of any ornamentation. You recall that it was made specifically for him. The weapon is difficult to handle. Its heft makes the palm of your hand shake. As you get used to it, you try your best to imitate father's feints. Your technique leaves much to be desired, but at least it's something. You imagine yourself fighting for the family's honor as the thin blade slices through the air. But you swing too far back. The blade nicks your shoulder and cuts through your shirt, staining the fabric crimson. The sword falls to the ground with a dull clang. You try to apply pressure to the wound to make it stop bleeding, but all you do is make the blood flow faster. Beef, what are you doing here? The familiar voice hurts you more than the cut of the sword. Father walks up to you briskly. His rugged arms rip off a length of cloth and bandage your shoulder. He squats by your side and pulls you into an awkward embrace. My son, why did you have to take the sword? You know you're not supposed to hold it. This is no toy. It is a weapon that can take lives. I know how you feel. I used to yearn for my father's dueling sword back when I was a lad. One day you might have a chance to earn the right to carry a weapon. But first, you must have patience and study and become a noble. When that day comes, I will be proud to teach you myself. You rarely spend time with father without someone else around. There is paternal love in his voice. So much even the cut on your shoulder barely hurts now. You would be glad to be convinced by what he says. But how can you forget your dream? How can you abandon it just to earn father's approval? Is it right for him to ask so much of you? Promise to never touch his sword again, or you ask him to teach you the basics. I'm gonna ask him to teach me the basics. Can you show me how to hold it? Father's inquisitive look presses you for an answer. It takes you a long time to muster enough courage to speak. You beg him to teach you how to fight. At least the very basics. It will certainly come in handy in your future. It will be your first step towards becoming a nobleman. Now it takes Father a long time to respond. He is about to speak, and you expect a refusal, but he says nothing. He draws a sharp breath again, but remains quiet. Then, finally, he offers you the sword. But remember this, Beef. You are not a warrior. Not yet. You will study this like you study your lessons. He teaches you the first lesson right away. You learn to dodge attacks. There are several times when the tip of the blade cuts the air dangerously close to your nose. It is scary and difficult, but you manage it. I'm exhausted now. From that day forth, Father teaches you the foundations of sword fighting in great secret. You use your passion for tree climbing to explain the cuts you received during training. Soon you learn how to hold your own in a duel. But will you ever need this art in real life? Event has happened. You dare to study fencing like your father, even though you have no right to it by birth. Determination increases further, I guess. Maybe no. Now I'm 6. Today, Father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stefan, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden, and now at dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together, with Father at the head of the table smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny singing song voice. Stefan mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with Father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers her sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stefan listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches Father with a letter in hand. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Azalt. He is the head of our family, my father.
Granddaddy, my people.
Your grandfather, Gregor Brante, returned to the family home from the capital. Doesn't seem like my father's very fond of me. The intrusion. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They told Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stefan stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. And when their grandfather arrives, it is a grim day. So hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, Mother, Stefan, Gloria, you, and Nathan, the entire Brante family stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, Father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honorably by my lot. Your marriage to that lowborn wench cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I have been away for too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? Servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honor? They are being raised in a virtuous family, Father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stefan with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stefan for the journey. Stefan freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined, room after room. Everything father sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib in mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door on your room is next. What is this, Robert? 10 soldiers in your younger son's room? He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Oh, this is sad. Grandfather seizes the box containing the 10 warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays quiet. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove your right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt in the flames. I don't have enough perception to watch them melt helplessly. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna roast my little kid hands in this fire to rescue these 10 warriors. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I know I can't kick my grandfather. I mean, I'm, an animal, but I'm not that much of an animal. And I'm not gonna burst into tears, because I'm not gonna let this man hurt me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hurt myself. Here we go. You run to the fire and take the box out. The wood is so hot to the touch, and the edges are burnt. The pain comes slowly. Horrible burns on your hands appear a few moments later. Mother gasps loudly. Then suddenly a heavy blow strikes you on the back. You turn around to see grandfather towering over you, his walking stick in hand. You stare back at him defiantly. How dare you defy me, whelp? You are nobody. Furious, grandfather wrenches the toy box out of your hands and leaves the room. Father follows him immediately, yet he sneaks in a hidden smile for you before he's gone. Yeah, alright, cool. Screw my grandfather. That guy's gonna drop soon before I get too old. But, yeah, I don't know. Okay, wait a minute. So, I have apparently earned some of my grandfather's respect. The fierce defender of the ancient order, he is preoccupied with arranging the future of his family line. Okay. So, I guess, he cracked his walking stick over my head while I burnt my hands in the fire to save my toys from his craziness, but, it seems I have, seems I have earned a little bit of his respect. Cool, and I've got even more determination. I'm happy with Resolute. I don't think I need to be adamant, do I? Furious, grandfather wrenches the toy box out of your hands and leaves the room. Okay. Soon, grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stefan goes with him. From that day on, father's hired teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lectures on writing, counting, the way of life in the blessed Archnean Empire. You often distract yourself from their instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stefan. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles. He is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favorite part. With Stefan now at the boarding school, grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask Mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. So my grandfather came back to live with us? Each time grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live here as befits a man of the nobility. An illustrious guest. Some days, grandfather stays home, and on these days you try your best to stay out of his sight. And there is no way you can avoid family breakfast. The food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat it. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She has been crying all night, again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table, where nobody used to sit before. Sorry, I just wanted to mix it up. Robert, it is high time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments. Sir Brante, please, let them live free of the lot for a while longer. They are but... Shut your mouth! Robert, that wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. It is time you considered a real marriage, Robert, one to a woman of the proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down Mother's cheek. Father does not look away from the plate, his hand clenched into fists. Baroness El Lodar is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for her inheritance right now and could use proper support and a husband. You can keep your lowborn Lydia around if you like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. I will not do that, Father. I am the head of this family. The family standing took a severe blow after you married that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you give up the memory of beautiful Amelia Elborn for this lowly woman and that bastard child of hers? But now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me. Father nods curtly, trying not to look in Mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stefan. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see him. She is coming for a visit tomorrow. Be prepared. Wow. Okay, so he's just an asshole, but... Also, I don't know. Grandfather wipes his mouth with his napkin, throws it onto his plate, and leaves Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then Father stands up and orders you and the other children back to your rooms. He needs to speak to Mother in private. Father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts a crease on the woolen blanket. He distances himself from you after Stefan's departure, so you're not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face in the dark. There is a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma L. Lodar will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be as immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. On the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She's been crying for a long time. It hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining quietly. You and Nathan are dressed in new doublets, your tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humble brown dress looking pale. Grandfather has an uncharacteristically contented look about him. You hear the sound of wheels and hooves against the cobbles in the yard, then a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber is completely quiet and still, fearing Grandfather's observant eye. The door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful dark-haired woman in a dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady L. Lodar and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. Baroness, allow me to introduce you Robert's sons, Beef and Nathan Brante. Frankly, it's his eldest, Stefan, who deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in Eterno with other young noblemen like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud one day. Grandfather eyes you with a probing look. How will you act in front of the Baroness? Will you accept her here next to your mother, your father's rightful wife? Ugh, man. I should have held on to my willpower as much as possible. Because I would like to maintain my composure. Oops. Sorry, I've got a cat laying on my keyboard and he has pressed buttons. Can you see this? Can you see this? This cat, this Bobby? Got anything to say, Bobo? Go ahead and say it now. Okay. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I don't think they understand you, but should be fine. Now know your place. You filthy casual. I am going to greet the Baroness politely. As much as I love my mother, I might be able to do more for my mother, right? By being on the good side of my grandfather and the good side of my father and becoming a noble, and I can hopefully take care of my mother. But something tells me this game is going to be much sadder than that. You follow father's example and kiss the Baroness's finger gently. Her laughter fills the antechamber, ringing like chimes. You gallantly offer to lead her to the sitting room. Lady L. Lodar graciously agrees. Behind your back, you can hear mother sobbing. You know, I'm just playing the game, Mom. You know, like, she can't replace my mother. She can make me a nobleman, which, you know, I can use to take care of my mother, but yeah, I don't know. With how sad and torn up my mother is, I hope she doesn't try to off herself before I can give her the life that I would like to. Grandfather and Baroness L. Lodar engage in small talk over dinner. She tells him of the woes of litigation over her late husband's inheritance, and he advises her, like the judge she is. Father is mostly silent, only getting in a word or two. You do your absolute best to behave yourself. After the decorous farewells to Lady L. Lodar, Father quietly thanks you for your model behavior. The morning after, he leaves for Eterna with Grandfather to visit Stefan. Mother spends almost an entire day in her bedroom. You cannot bring yourself to speak to her. So now my mom doesn't love me anymore. Father returns from the capital in a quiet rage. You overhear your parents talking. Apparently, Grandfather has already poisoned Stefan's mind against him, and he greeted Father with cold hostility. The name of Baroness L. Lodar is never mentioned in the house again. Alright, well, I traded my mother's love for my father's love. And the thing is, yeah, That's a tough one. And I also gained the respect of my grandfather. That's the important one. And all this right now? Still indifferent? Or is it +1 to the +1? I don't know. Okay, reputation +1. Modest position. Cool. I stepped it up from tarnished honor to modest position. Okay, we're moving in the right direction here. The unity is -1 again, so there's still disagreements, but we've got a good little bit of cushion there, so we're not doing too bad here. But also, we're just a child, and our decisions mean nothing. The kaleidoscope. Actually, let's check the destiny stuff here. Okay. Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says that he wishes Stefan had been the one to stay home instead of you. You never expected to hear these words from your father of all people. Okay, well, you know, as an adult male in real life, I also understand that he's worried about my ability to compete for the nobility. As a child, though, this is hurtful. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence, I bet. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you now busy yourself with reading and calculations in the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. That was a long sentence. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. Aren't you hurt by the way grandfather treats you? You ask. Gloria just shrugs. Oh, my poor sister. Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way. That's it. She shows you the strange tube she has been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see the inside? Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eye sees a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning into the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horsemen, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines, and you swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. What? Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive and calm and peaceful, just like father's smile before grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold radiating gentle warmth, like mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again, you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow, you see Gloria's green eyes gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned, and time slips away unchecked, but you're still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it, no matter how you try. You are caught in an inner conflict. There is so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart, or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you? But you still have lessons to do today. I really need to fix this willpower problem, but I guess I would just have to keep looking through the kaleidoscope. I'm neglecting my studies, though. You continue peering into the ever-changing patterns the kaleidoscope offers you. They become truly interesting when you point it at the shining pillar gleaming in the sky. In your mind's eye, one battle follows another, filling your ears with clanging steel and the neighing of horses. You are leading the Imperial Army now. Everybody is so proud of you. Grandfather says you are better than Stefan, and Father's stern voice cuts your daydream short. You lost all track of time. It is evening now. Uh-oh. Okay, cool. Got my willpower out of the negative now. That's always excellent. How did you get your hands on this toy, Beef? Why aren't you studying? Give it to me. We'll have double the lessons tomorrow. That's awesome. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in the house. He has become something you are used to. Something like nagging, yet not unordinary. Like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. The tension still remains. However, Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable it almost stings for real. Sweet temptation. Interesting and concerning. Your lessons with the tutor are done for today. You're walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak upon your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She is startled. Oh, it's you, Beef. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl, you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate. Like all sweet things. Yet Grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the highborn treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on a shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stefan used to boast that candied fruit tastes incredible, and now you have a perfect opportunity to try it. You try a candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet. You have never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes a fruit and brings it to her mouth, carefully, like a rare treasure. There's something on the stairs. Footsteps accompanied by the knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but Grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Gloria after you, but she is frozen in place with the bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. Oh no. I feel so bad for Gloria. You squalid, ungrateful, lowborn child. How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother would be sleeping in a ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? His hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls to the floor right next to where you are hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm, melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready, but then he sees you huddling behind the armchair. Please don't hurt him, Sir Brante. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me. You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed. Oh, dang cat, he's gonna have to go somewhere. He just messed up. You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. Okay, Gloria was caught red-handed. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it then, Milksop? Did you try the sugar too, or were you trying to stop this piece of filth like she says? I gotta stop to think about this one. It's tough. I don't like this one. But I'm sure they're just gonna... This is probably nothing of what is yet to come. Because Gloria is trying to cover for me, right? But I feel like maybe she wouldn't understand if I played along with it. But if I tell the truth, then she'll get beaten even more for lying and eating the candy. You know what I mean? Like, telling the truth is the right thing for me to do, but is it the best thing for my sister? You know? This really makes me question my own character. Mocking grandfather, I don't think will do anything for me, really. Gloria will be grateful, I guess. Or no, Gloria is currently grateful, but I don't think that would do any good for anybody. Just mocking grandfather, that's not gonna do anything. I think we're gonna lie on this one. We're gonna lie. Because I feel like if I tell the truth, Gloria's just gonna get double the punishment. Because she's already said that I tried to stop her, which means that she's lying on top of stealing, I guess you could say. And if I don't go along with it, or if I do go along with it, then it won't be a lie, would it? You stand up and start talking. Yes, Gloria was telling the truth. You were trying to stop her. Grandfather tilts his head as he keeps you transfixed by his inhospitably bitter gaze. Then why did you hide behind the armchair like a petty thief? It was all Gloria, you tell him. She told you to hide. Gloria looks at you with pain and disappointment when you say this. See, I knew that was... I should have known that was gonna... I did know that was gonna happen. I just wanted to think that it might not. Grandfather nods, satisfied by your answer. He tells you to stay and watch him punish Gloria. Look, I just played along, dude. If I didn't go with what she said, she would have been a liar. So why is she then hurt and disappointed by my playing along with what she said? For the first time in your life, you see somebody else being punished. Her skin split apart by grandfather's walking stick, her clothes getting soaked in blood as she writhes in agony. Night comes, but Gloria's sobbing keeps you awake. You go to her bedroom and try to calm her down, but a muffled go away is her only reaction. She lied to grandfather for you, so why is she angry with you now? Yeah, okay, I'm glad they said it, because I'm thinking it. This is... not a good feeling. That's what this is. Not a good feeling. -1 from Gloria now. She's indifferent. Mother takes Gloria to church next morning. They return late in the afternoon and Gloria begs Father on her knees for forgiveness. She will never, ever take what she does not deserve by birth, she pleads. She does not look at you. Not even once. Okay. I've got +5 willpower. I need to save up my willpower. I'm not spending it unless it might be like a life situation. The sacrament. Father and Mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you are told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. No playing today. You and Beef are big boys now. It is time for you both to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot. Be quiet and listen. You were born commoners, so you must accept a lowborn lot before the twins. When you grow up, you will get a chance to earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon the carriage is moving along the streets of Anazat, slowly and solemnly. One more turn and you see the colossal white building marked by 2 massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into 2 halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered with dried brown spots, while the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. Commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and their families sit on pews. Father and grandfather leave you to sit on one side of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone of the commoners side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the low-born estate shall suffer in the house of the faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and other children will take your sacraments this day. Before you stands a tall priest dressed in black, with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He's scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roils in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and recites the words of his lot. From this day forth he will fight and rule and pursue the arts, his mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is expected to receive the sacrament. Is next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly snaps out of his fearful trance and tries to break free. But the acolyte pulls him toward the altar and throws him on the jagged floor on the lowborn side. Sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him. How old is Nathan right now? What? I was born in what, 11, 18? So I'm like freaking 7. And I'm 4 years older than Nathan. So he's like 3? Ugh. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him. I don't wanna. Beef, why do they wanna whip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the lot as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labor and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks. It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards Mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It's your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below. So sharp your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? Okay. I'm pretty sure kissing the sword will get me killed. But my determination is high. I can spare determination. I can raise my head and defiantly stand up. Or I can just catch the lash before it strikes my shoulders. Let's mess around and find out a little bit. The priest readies the lash, but before he can strike you, raise your head and stand up. There are cries of indignation among the churchgoers. The whip cracks. It strikes you on the right shoulder, but you keep your head up. It strikes again, this time on your left shoulder, but you remain standing. No one intervenes. Even the priest is confused by this turn of events. He grits his teeth as he orders you to depart. You are to remain humble and obedient from this day forth, for you now belong to the common estate. You walk away from the altar swaying. You see things with surprising clarity now. You can barely feel the pain, even as blood runs down your back. A timid hand touches yours. It is Nathan. His tearful face, a mixture of confusion and awe. Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the church. Once you're outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate. Grandfather is the last to leave his church. His face is covered in red, angry blotches. There is a quiet fury in his voice as he says something to Father, who remains quiet and miserable as you walk to the carriage. You defied a powerful will that day. There is fear inside of you. You fear that this will might one day destroy you. Willpower +5. You have taken your first sacrament and received the commoner's lot. Childhood's end. You're 1125. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it is a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash in her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. Father keeps telling you to study hard, so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness. And Stefan still lived with you, and when he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left, now he thinks it beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly after Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of family's arrival. Grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him, or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now. What's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious duty. Study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. I was born in 1118. My perception has not increased at all. And I feel like maybe I'm messing up with that. Maybe I'm messing up by not having my perception go up. Your inner strength and the number of lesser deaths that you have experienced. These qualities will stay with you for your entire life. Okay. No deaths. Now I am 8 years old.
I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
Chapter 2. Adolescence. Alright. Well, we have pushed this stream out to about 4.5 hours now. I unfortunately do have to be up supremely early. This was the life and suffering of Sir Brante. This has been, it's been fun. Anxiety inducing a little bit of sadness. It's been emotional. Playing it. Maybe it's had the same effect on you, the same impact. Because I know for me, as I'm playing this, I am filling in the characters with people from my own life, and I'm imagining them, which is very interesting. But yes, I am going to, I think, end things off here. thank you for joining me for another stream. I do appreciate your presence. I really do. Especially, we're gonna come back to this. We're gonna come back to this game, and oops, I didn't mean to click. I wanted to stop right there. But yeah, so we're gonna come back to this game as well for sure. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it on the exact chapter where we left off. I will not play this game without streaming it. That way we can go on this journey together. Should be an interesting one. In the meantime, yeah, I'll see you guys next time.